Tell me what you found that's important enough to rewrite history.
That?
What? That?
Yeah.
That medieval cross.
Give me the cross. Okay. This has been ascertained to have antiquity, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
1400, is that correct?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
This is around 600 years old.
Well, it was mined 600 years ago.
Where was it mined?
South of France, best we know
Okay,
at
wait a
this
minute.
junction.
South of France.
Yes.
So that doesn't mean that this was here 600 years ago.
No.
It was in France 600 years ago and arrived here at an undetermined date.
Of course.
Correct.
Was this found underground?
It's found in Smith's Cove. There's the man who found it.
With your shovel,
Yeah.
you were able to uncover it.
Oh, I don't do my own digging. I've got all these guys to dig for me. But yeah, Rick and I were on Smith's Cove Beach, and Rick dug that out.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Holy.
Holy shamoly, all right.
It's a cross.
Oh, my gosh, I mean, that is an old cross.
Is this worth anything?
It could be. That could be part of the treasure that we're looking for. Don't have to be gold and silver. It could be some fantastic religious treasure. And I'm hoping it is.
Well, even the cynic in me says, how many of those have you seen in North America?
I've never seen.
Neither have we.
Who put all this here? Do you have any concrete ideas, any of you the opinions? What are your theories? What are you thinking?
Templars. That's where I'm
You all
going.
believe Templars? Because the Templars seems to be the prevalent idea.
I would love it to be something in association with the Templars because
Yeah.
300 years ago, from 9 knights to rivaling the monarchy and the Vatican for power and influence, right? And then they're gone. How wonderful to fill those pages of history.
You know, the Templars are a great answer in that we know that they were marked for destruction, and many of them ran as quickly as possible to escape the death by the French king, wasn't it?
King Philip the Fair.
King Philip, and many of them were put to death, but many Templars escaped. Where did they go? If I were a Templar, I'd have gone to Oak Island immediately.
But we went to the famous Templar prison in France, Dome. There was a walled city.
In France?
Yes, at the gate there's
Where in France?
a tower. Dome, that's the name.
Oh, that's the name of the city.
D-O-M-M-E, Dome.
I am D-O-U-M-B.
Come in.
But within the walls of that prison, where up to 70 Templar knights were imprisoned, they knew at that point they would never see their freedom again.
And you can see lots of evidence of how they passed their time, which was by making carvings in the walls to sustain them spiritually. Over here is some of the most well-known carvings at Dom this way.
And there are hundreds, perhaps even thousands of carvings on the walls of that prison.
Deep carvings of the Virgin Mary with a child, Jesus, rather ordinary crosses.
And one of those carvings certainly looks like that very cross. And I would be willing to bet that you could take that and put it in the wall of the prison, and it would line up perfectly.
Wow.
All it takes is one good find, though. We'll save the best till last.
That does sound different to me,
It
too.
does.
Just west of the swamp on Lot 32, Marty Lagina and Gary Drayton continue their search for important clues.
Gonna have to get the rocks out here.
There you go, mate.
This one could be tough.
Boy, that is just...
Yep. Can hide, but it can't run.
Let me just get that out of there.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that out.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Been trapped there a while. Look at that. I'm gonna pull it out, mate. What have we got here?
The hell is
The
that?
size of that. That is one big spike. Look at the size of that.
Looks
I
like
mean,
a
that's
railroad
crazy.
spike, no?
No, it's too. I think it's too big to be a railroad spike. I mean, it's very, very heavy as well. It's like an old wharf pin or something like that. Don't know what the heck it's doing out here.
Well, you know what? We think there's a wharf, and we think it was over there, but we don't really know that. It could have been right here.
More possible evidence of a ship's wharf on Lot 32? And in the same area where the team found a potentially ancient cargo bag seal 1 year ago? The burning question then becomes, what happened to the cargo? Could the money pit or the swamp soon provide the answer?
Is it iron?
Yeah, it's iron and more than likely raw iron.
I don't really want to find more spikes on this island, but this particular one is incredibly massive, and it was way deep in the soil, so it's been there a long, long time.
We'll put it in the XRF. We'll have Carmen Legg look at it, probably Krista Brousseau. We'll see what they all say.
Okay, mate.
All right.
Dang, that is a big spike.
Later that afternoon,
Hey, Carmen.
Carmen!
Hello.
Good to see ya.
How you doing today? Good.
Like that sound, like that smell.
Marty and Alex Lagina, along with Jack Begley, have traveled some 50 miles north to Northville Farm in Centerville, Nova Scotia, to meet with blacksmithing expert Carmen Legg.
Carmen, we have some more of our treasures that we need identified here.
Oh, wonderful. I love looking at them.
It was found on Lot 32 by my dad.
I find almost nothing, so I'm really quite proud of this.
You found this one.
Lot 32 is on the south side of the island, close to the swamp, near where we think there may have been an old wharf.
Well, this is a typical rock stake. This one was used repeatedly. You can see how the head is very well mushroomed. They would be anchored into rock, and then you knock it out and continue on down the line. You could also anchor it into rock, pull a ship ashore. You could pull a ship offshore.
Oh.
Yes.
You anchor your boat out in the ocean. You bring your heavy stuff to shore, then you move it with that.
Yeah, that's right. Or you drag stuff ashore with this.
How far away was it from the bag seal?
Not very far. I'd say maybe 50 feet.
Well, it makes it kind of plausible then that that was used for hauling.
A lot of the rock stakes and wedges like this were seen a lot used from 1710 to 1740.
A ship's anchor spike? Perhaps used in the unloading of cargo? And dating between 1710 and 1740? If so, could it help identify just who may have been behind the Oak Island mystery?
What's really interesting is it appears to be a ship's log of the French fleet that was coming over in 1746 to take back Acadia.
3 years ago, Doug Kroll discovered a ship's log dating back to 1746 in the Nova Scotia archives. It recounted a failed French expedition to reclaim Nova Scotia from the British that was led by the Duc d'Envie, a nobleman from southern France, whose family lineage could be traced back to the order of the Knights Templar.
They're actually talking about the vast amount of treasure they have on board.
But what made the ship's log compelling to the Oak Island team was that it reported a secondary mission to hide a vast treasure on a wooded island.
The wind dying down, we anchored for the night. The great quantity of treasure on this vessel makes it unwise to jeopardize it in any engagement with the enemy. September 8th, it has been agreed that a deep pit be dug and treasure securely buried. The pit to have a secret entrance by a tunnel from the shore.
The Duc d'Anville theory certainly fits with these tools. So, made in 1740, used in 1746 is entirely possible.
Could this spike, found in the same area as the potentially ancient cargo bag seal, be connected to an 18th century French mission to bury treasure? And if so, could these finds also help explain the mysterious tunnel that the team encountered 1 day ago in the money pit?
That's a good data point then.
Mm-hmm. All right.
All right, Carmen.
Good stuff.
We're going home with some answers.
Very good. All right.
We'll be back.
Rick Lagina and members of the team have gathered in the war room to discuss an exciting development, one which they hope will shed new light on the origin of their most incredible find to date, the mysterious lead cross.
So guys, everybody is well aware of the cross. You know, Gary's smiling as we speak.
He's made sure everybody knows about it.
Well, we've got something for you to look at.
Yeah, very nice.
6 weeks ago, Rick Lagina and Craig Tester arranged for the cross to be tested at the University of New Brunswick using a process known as laser ablation. a microscopically small portion of the cross was irradiated with a laser beam in an effort to determine not only the exact chemical makeup of the cross, but where the lead may have come from. The results were astounding.
So the lead cross is not from North America.
Wow. Now, with this evidence, if you will, it's not North American lead. It certainly doesn't eliminate the possibility that this is indeed a Templar connection. So, in order to further the testing, we've reached out to the German Mining Museum. Charles, why don't you call him up and we'll see what he can tell us. Hello, Tobias.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Tobias Skowronek is a geochemist at the German Mining Museum in the city of Bochum. Established in 1930, the museum boasts a preeminent research archive in the field of mining archaeology and is renowned for its vast database of metals and other mineral deposits throughout the ancient world.
So, Tobias, as you can probably understand, we're somewhat on pins and needles, hoping to hear what you have to tell us. So if you'd be, again, so kind, we're very anxious.
Yeah, so I compared the lead isotope data of the cross that you gave me with my database of ore bodies and metals here are somehow related to European deposits where archaeologists know medieval mining took place. And I think I found a match there.
Really?
Yeah.
And time period-wise, you think it's pre-15th century then?
I think it's pre-15th century, yes.
Wow.
You nailed it, Gary.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
This could be Templar connected.
So, Tobias, can you name a specific city or region?
Most probably the area of two mountain ranges of southern France, the Cévennes and the so-called Montagne Noire. It's like 20 miles by 20 miles.
In the area of Rennes-le-Château?
Yeah, that's pretty close, yeah.
That's exactly where we were.
Wow. Wow.
4 years ago, Marty and Alex Lagina traveled to Rennes-le-Château, a village in southern France that has strong connections to the Knights Templar dating back to the 13th century.
My name is Marty. Nice to meet you.
There they met with Toby Dobler, a modern-day Templar Grand Master.
If you were going to look for the treasure of the Knights Templar right now, today, you would look on Oak Island.
That's for sure.
It was Toby's belief that members of the Knights Templar moved priceless religious artifacts to Rennes-le-Château in the 14th century for safekeeping, before transporting them to Scotland and later to Oak Island. Could the team finally have the hard scientific evidence they've been looking for? That the stories of a Templar journey to Oak Island are true?
Well, look, Tobias, all we can do is say thank you. I think you raised eyebrows right across the length and breadth of this table, certainly. And we'll have to discuss where we go with the information.
You're very welcome, and I thank you to be involved.
Thank you, Tobias. Appreciate it.
We'll be in contact. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow.
That cross is associated with the Templar-influenced region in France. It's certainly the time of the Templars, 1300s, 1400s, or even earlier. All of that is astounding news. But it's not just the one item, it's what that item represents, and that item represents possibilities. What other answers reside in that cove?
I mean, if it was made pre-15th century and it was deposited near the time it was made, it is probably the most historic thing that's maybe ever happened in North America.
Yeah.
That's incredible news.
The hunt continues.
It is the start of another promising day on Oak Island.
Guys, I'm very pleased to have Travis Taylor with us today.
Brothers Rick and Marty Lagina, along with their partner, Craig Tester, and other members of their Oak Island team, welcome aerospace engineer Dr. Travis Taylor to the War Room.
I came up with sort of my own theory as to what may have happened here. Almost everybody that's been involved in investigating it are Freemasons.
Exactly.
According to the teachings of Freemasonry, Hiram Abiff was the chief architect of King Solomon's temple in ancient Jerusalem. His so-called drawing template is presented to all Freemasons who join the order's third and highest degree. It depicts many well-known sacred images, such as Jacob's ladder to the heavens and the Holy Grail.
So if you continue to look at this drawing table, you see at the top, the hand of God is holding a chalice, or the Holy Grail, or the cup of life. But what the Freemasons use that as a symbol of is as above, so below, right? And you can use that metaphorical or whatever, but if you use it literal, then the way they would draw maps is by as above, so below. The stars would be their guide on how they created the map if they were going to make one. The star on the upper right is actually, if you count, there are 7 stars there. It looks like the Pleiades, which is part of Taurus. I got to thinking, is there something that archaeoastronomy might have to do with the island? So I overlaid the constellation on the island. What we have are all of the stars align onto the island, and then you have the Pleiades somewhere between the beach and Frog Island, and the point star where this piece would be actually overlays perfectly on Apple Island. This is a star map.
A star map? One matching the constellation Taurus to points not only on Oak Island, but to neighboring islands? But if so, to what does it lead?
Well, it might be a starting point.
So let's do this, Travis. Gary, if you're available, Jack, let's take Travis and we'll show you around the island. Travis, why don't we check out your first target spot right here. Right, Jack, you have a better idea where lot 1 and 2 meet, do you not?
Yeah, just a little bit further. Based upon your map, Travis, you can very lightly see the lot lines, and it looks like the first star would be located near the lot line between 3 and 2. All right, it looks like we've reached the destination that you pointed out on your map.
There's a huge boulder over here.
It could be a landmark.
Well, we should look at it, right?
Yeah. I don't see any other large boulders like this around here.
Not just sitting there, right?
The first point that we came to, there's a large boulder at. So.
That is intriguing.
So we'll see if there's a pattern developed.
Yeah, right.
We go to the next place.
All right, let's go do that.
All right, let's do that.
The team heads to a second location, just south of the Money Pit site.
All right there, this would be one of your spots.
Here's a stone triangle on the right-hand side.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is one of the spots.
This is one of your points, and there was a stone feature here. A very obvious one.
That's wild, right? So 2 for 2.
2 for 2.
You're on a roll, mate.
When you were building your map, did you specifically use the stone triangle as one of the points? How did you orient it?
No, I just tried to make sure that the leg of the bull fit on the island.
Oh.
It just happened, this is what it is.
Travis Taylor now uses his star map to lead Marty, Jack, and Gary to lot 13, where if his theory is correct, they will find another stone marker.
Is that not a giant stone right there? This one has a flat side back here.
We are in the general area of where this point's supposed to be. No, it's amazing that we've run into big boulders at each point.
Yeah.
Could those stones that we saw be markers that were put there by some human beings a long, long time ago to correspond with a star map? The answer is, of course they could. Anyway, thank you very much.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Been a great
It's been
day.
fun.
Been a great day. Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet you.
We'll look forward to this feedback exchange and see what we can find.
All right, great. Hopefully we'll find something.